I had a very somewhat heated discussion with a coworker because you have these types of people, right? And we talk about these people all the time, and though you might not be able to articulate these types of people, you know who I'm talking about when I say the types of people that worry about what the fuck everybody else is doing. Right? It's like they must live very cozy and comfortable lives to seek out how other people live and to judge them. And this happened with the evangelicals. Like, they're like, oh, well, everything's satanic. Anything that's fun, anything that's edgy is satanic. So D&D is satanic. Pokemon's satanic. Video games are satanic. And also, by the way, they make you a fucking serial killer. And like when I grew up, like being like edgy was a way to get street cred, right? Like if I would, when I would show a video, send a link to two girls in one cup to another student of the same grade, right? And we're talking like high school, and they'd get that visceral reaction. I would feel good. It'd be like, yes, I made that person cringe. And if you do that to this type of individual, they'd spurg out and be like, "Oh, why do we allow? Why do we allow?" And if you didn't like that, I'd just consider you a very weak person. It's like, okay, I sent fucking lemon party to you, and you're spurting out. Like, do you not understand that in this context, you're the joke? And this is how people acted when I grew up. Like, edginess gave you street cred. And this was shown in TVs and games and movies, right? This is shown in reality. And obviously, you had the mental illness industrial complex of psychologists coming out and being like, "Oh, but what is the inner machinations of people with this mindset?" I was like, "It's funny, it's hilarious. It gives me I guffaw heavily, and then I move on. Like it ain't that deep." And again, the joke is on you if you flip the fuck out about this thing, like heavy metal, satanic, like all of this. Now we've entered this no other like area of Karenism, and this was what I was discussing with the coworker about. Because she's like, "Oh, you shouldn't call people Karens. It's insulting and it's not nice." And I'm like, don't these types of people deserve to be insulted? Like they're acting in a way that normal people in reality don't act, because normal people have legitimate issues. Normal people struggle to put food on the table for themselves and their family. Normal people worry about their family and their friends and the people around them. But then you have these specific types of people that come out of nowhere, and they exist solely to judge how other people act. And I don't think the ideology really matters. I think they just need this in their lives. Like back then, it would have been an evangelical Christian. Now it's a wokey, a blue-haired woke liberal doing these things. And again, the ideology doesn't matter. I think it's just the person. Like, don't they deserve to be insulting? Okay, if I can't call him a Karen, what other word should we replace it with to describe these individuals? Because you know the type of individual I'm talking about when I say Karen. I know the type of individual I'm talking about, but we're not allowed to use that word. So give me a better word and I'll stop using Karen. And this individual didn't really have an answer. So you have Valve quietly removing explicit games featuring extreme sexual violence from Steam in the UK. And I think this game's called No Mercy. Yeah. this was a very old game. I think it was based off an older movie. Like, and I can kind of think why they did this. Like, I think there is a scene where I think there's like incest and it's non consensual. And I've watched the movie and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's bad. These are very bad individuals. And the game is supposed to be sort of an offshoot of the movie, depicting the same bad individuals doing the bad things. But you have the UK, which is run by these types of individuals that anything to do with like non-consensual sex, even in like fiction, they flip out about. Like these are the individuals you're taught like that run the country apparently. And I legitimately think this made the game even more popular. Like people are just sick and tired of censorship. Period. Like we've reached this age where people are just like, if anything's getting censored for or removed for whatever reason, people will just support it. Nobody likes being treated like a child and it being incapable of making their own fucking decisions, even if they're bad decisions, right? And to me, this is a game. Like playing this is like, what you think someone playing this will morph into a rapist? I mean, it's the same amount of logic being used. Well, I say that. Well, the reason they say this is, oh, well, kids could play this game. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, how can I, if, like, you need to be over 18 to, one, create an account, two, have a fucking credit card linked to the account, and three, even to see like games of this nature on Steam. I mean, you really have to go into the settings and actively remove them to see this type of content on Steam. And oh, well, your parent, they could get their parents' credit card. What fucking kid is actively seeking out games like these? And I say kid, right? Like, assuming it's a 16, 17-year old, like, do the parents not matter? Does parenting not matter? Because, like, you see this with a lot of arguments when it comes to the children. It's like, okay, so are the parents just not part of the equation? And if a child does all three of these fucking things, somehow has lies about his age and fucking gets a account, somehow has access to a fucking credit card, whether it's their parents or not, or assuming it's their parents, navigate the very strict and very hidden setting that allows you to see explicit content. It's like, well, I mean, I would blame the fucking parent at that point. But even if the kid does, it's like, well, my brother in Christ. Maybe I guess the problem's with the child or the 16, 17-year-old. Man, they couldn't wait one fucking year to play this. But it's also the fact that nobody acts this way. Like this is what I'm describing is how how the Karens think people act. Doesn't really describe reality. No Mercy gained sufficient media attention over the last week for its violent and graphical themes, and garnered notable criticism from UK Technology Secretary Peter Kyle. Yesterday, Valve removed the game from the sale in the UK, and the title has become unavailable in Australia and Canada. Now, Zurat Games has said it will pull No Mercy from the PC storefront altogether, in a statement that remains defiant over the game's right to exist. Yeah, And whatever other platform this game will be in, right? Because this game, no one knew and or cared about this game until the Karens, until the UK and other places start flipping out. And now I think other people absolutely care now. Fully understand that many people have such things may be disgusted, but during sex, people should really do what they want as long as they don't harm anyone. So the game wrote in a statement on Steam. That's blocked in UK. Thanks, Kotaku. Again, this is fiction, and the fiction is clearly depicting bad people doing bad things. Like, we need to recreate this wall between fiction and reality, the same wall that's being built between America and Mexico. Like, let's erect another wall between, okay, what people do in fiction is fiction and doesn't matter. What people do in reality is reality. Like, what was this Karen mindset that one leads to another? Because in every situation where it tries to be applied, right? Okay, maybe there's like a couple that we can agree, but normally people don't act like this. I don't think everything that everybody consumes and do should be dictated by the actions of a few unreasonable people, right? Because I find that in and of itself to be unreasonable. If after reading this our statement you still believe such a game should not have been created, then we sincerely apologize to you. At the same time, we would like you to be a bit more open to human fetishes that don't harm anyone, even though they may seem disgusting to you. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't exist. This this game, it's a game. It's just not just a game, and although many people are trying to make it into something more, it remains and will continue to be a game. So, yeah, I mean, and we've reached this situation, right? Because on the news, these types of people, they morally grandstand on everyone else, but the consumers themselves, right? Actual people are just, again, like people who play games, consume entertainment, are against censorship wherever it may be, and for whatever reason, right? Because I can see something and just, if it disturbs me, if somehow it disturbs me, right? Because I have a very thick skin. I grew up at a time where the YouTube was the Wild West, and if something legitimately disturbs me, I'll just click off of it and go about the rest of my day. I mean, it's not that difficult, but we're talking about the type of people that demand the world should accommodate their weak mentality and their weak character. And when that happens, you get situations like this: weak people imposing their weakness on everybody and everything else. So, well, I will never play this game. I don't care about this game, but it's the principle that, oh no, we need to act like mommy and daddy to grown ass adults, that I will always be against, especially in fiction, right? But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace.